Everybody, welcome back um, to another episode of That's How I Roll. You're probably seeing now on our channel that Scott, who was one of the, really he's kind of founded the channel, and then we're going to do it together. And then, as you know, I've been doing most of the videos, but now Scott's coming in. He's a little bit fancier than I am, um, more skills when it comes to computers and everything. So you'll be seeing his nice fancy videos, and then you just get my raw live without a net videos. So today we are doing the Dragonbane adventure. We're going to play Riddermound, which is the first adventure of the adventures book that comes in the box set. You can only get this campaign, this Dragon Emperor campaign in the box set. It's another reason why this box set's really, really good. I also got me a new Dragonbane dice tray and another set of dice um, because why not? And so what we're going to do is we're going to play the module, the Riddermound module, because some people had asked me about doing if I could do the module to show you how to how to run Dragonbane with a module. And I'm also going to probably do it in the future with the next, my next thing is OSE with the Broken Streams, which is the solo edition. It is the solo engine, I would guess you could say, of Scarlet Heroes. So my next adventure after this will be OSE. So, but I wanted to run a module, and I figured I might as well run the Dragonbane Starter Module, which is on Riddermound. I think it's free on their. If you download it, because you can download their starter kit. I think it comes with some characters, and then it comes with the starter module. So if you're interested, you can go and do that. So how do I run a module? It's really like how I'll run anything else, is that I just read the module, because I've been playing for a long time. So a lot of times I've been a module, and then time later, maybe a year later, time or whatever, I've ran a player character through the same module that I had played. So the only way I could do that, so my friend said, "Hey, I want to run Secrets of Bone Hill," and I'd already ran it, I've read it, but I want to play it. Then I just pretend like I never read it. I mean, that's just the way I have to do it. And so it's the same thing with here, because if you don't read Riddermound and you don't, a lot of people just like to play and I want to be surprised. Well, Dragonbane has the ability for random things to happen inside their module dungeons, and I'll show you that in a minute as we play it. But also, the thing is like if you read the monster, you can read the module. I was thinking about the monsters. Monsters in Dragonbane are very, very, very tough. I mean, they're not normal. They automatically hit. You have to make a decision on if you can, when you use your initiative, if you want to parry or dodge or any of those type of things. So it takes away kind of your ability to hit every single time. It's a little more strategic, and it'd probably be like in this module when you look at the um, um, so if you look at the monsters in here, like they have their attack roll. Their attack rolls are very, I mean, when the monsters, they do something. And when they have like a ferocity of 2, which means they get 2 attacks per round, it's kind of like a phase. Who goes what. I mean, it is initiative, but it seems to me like you kind of go in phases in a way. They're very, very tough. And so if you see the So you have to read and see if your characters can survive, especially on a solo, because solo of this is difficult. Um, just because of the monsters, like if Malatar was going to take on the main monster in here, which is the white, who he has to fight a ghost before he gets to the end, you're looking at ferocity 2. His armor in the book is armor 8. So even though he has this magic weapon, he has this warhammer called Worldbreaker that he got in the last adventure, at the end of the solo adventures. You know, he does 2d8 plus 6. That is a lot of damage. But boy, if you don't roll well, his armor takes off 8. Um, and that's crazy. And in some of these armors, like here, if you roll a 6, I mean, some of his monster attacks, with creaking joints, the white swings its weapon in a powerful attack against a character. The damage is rolled with twice the weapon's normal dice. So he's doing a Morningstar, which is 2d8. That's 48 against a character that has 17 hit points. It can be parried, but if if you're playing, solo, you would have to use one attack to parry, one attack to, and it could just make the battle go long. But anyway, um, so what I do is I read the module all the way through, got a whole overall thing about it, and then I just play it like if my characters were going to play it. I mean, the difference is with a role-playing game and a module with a group of people is that you just have other people you're just asking, well, what are you going to do? You see this, well, what are you going to do? And so you just have to be able to say, okay, if I was the DM and I was the player, nothing's going to be perfect. I can't have a total surprise against um, against foreknowledge. So you have to balance it, and you just got to play it as fair as you possibly can. And a lot of this stuff, especially with a module like this, I really, really, really love Dragonbane, and I could easily turn my channel into a Dragonbane only channel, just because I love the game. I mean, I would love to play the campaign, and then the next campaign, the Path of Glory, is a dwarven, goes to a dwarven area, and anytime the dwarven halls, anytime you put a dwarven realm in the dwarven halls, you got me sucker because I love it. You got me sucked in because I love dwarves, and so in fact my two characters are dwarves. So I would love just to play all these solo, and so maybe I will. Maybe I'll put a poll up or something about playing the whole campaign, and then but I can do LC, and I am going to do it the Shadow Dark Sun. I just like to rotate through, um, and so anyway, I read them out. I read the whole adventure, and so that's just how I do it. I read it. I'll just show you how I do it. I'd rather just say that's how I roll than to sit here and explain it, other than to say, read the whole adventure, see if your character can solo make it through, see if there's something in the adventure. Like with this adventure, there's no getting around the treasure at the end without having to fight the white. There's just no way. So you can't have a character that's sneaky. You've got to have some kind of ability to take care of this white. And you can boost your character up. They have ways of doing it, and they tell more about how to do it in here. Because even for this adventure, it tells you your character has to have 16s in some of their skills. They have to have a magic weapon. They need to have another heroic ability. So it tells you those type of things. In this, they don't. It doesn't tell you. It's built for the starter characters that they gave you, and or the characters you generate to start it from the get-go. And so the only thing is that Malatar does have the Warhammer Worldbreaker, and so that's his magical weapon. But what I'm doing is I added, if you saw my sixth session of my Dragonbane solo, where I did the blue Takara, whatever it's called, where I created an adventure using the rules. The quest giver in that was a dwarf named Verona, who was an obsessive scholar. So what I did is I went ahead and made Verona a character. So that's Malatar Shadowbane and Verona Stonequill. And she's a scholar. But the one thing I did is she has a heroic ability for intuition. Well, if you want, the GM can decide to change the heroic ability. So what I did is I changed the heroic ability to magic because I wanted a dwarf kind of scholarly rune priest type of character, which there's no cleric in here. There is the mage. Um, but you can add magic to any of the you can add magic to any of your classes, really. So um, you just have to take away the heroic ability and give them. So like if you wanted to make an elven fighter mage, you just take away the heroic ability of veteran and you give him the ability to um, now, I think there is some, uh, like a mage might not be able to wear. I don't think it says anything about not wearing armor. So, you don't get started in heroic ability, but you get. Um, so that's what I did. I made her um, a scholar with magic. So, because I wanted a dwarf type of character, I wanted a dwarf kind of cleric type of character. Um, and so that's how I did it because I don't know another way to do it in the book. I guess I could have made it a knight or something, but it said obsessive scholar, so I went ahead and went with that. Plus, I think I've never did magic, so I want to do that. That's another reason. And so what you do is you have she's an animist, so her secondary skill is 12 because it's going to be double what her intel is. She's going to get as many spells as um, she can learn as many spells or memorize as many spells as her intellect attribute modifier, which is a 6. So, but she gets to start off. She gets 3 spells and then 3 minor magic. So she's got sense magic, open and close, and light. And then the abilities here, she has banish, treat wounds, and protector. Because I wanted her to kind of be clericy like. She's got a warhammer, um, a knife, and so that's Verona Stonequill. So she is going to be. So let's see. And so I might have to jump back and forth because I'm trying to, learn this magic system. I've read some of it, but it's kind of, you know, it's so light. You create a bright light that shines from a focus of your choice. Okay, so here we go. So I read the adventure, and basically the campaign is about the fact that this land used to be ran by a dragon emperor um, named Eladin, and then he had a magic sword, and so he put the sword in his tomb, and the tomb is in the middle of the town of Outskirts, and so but no one can get inside of it so here's the outskirts. So this area is his tomb, but they can't get in unless they have a key, and the key is made of a statue of the dragon emperor. And so, but the key parts of the key, there's 4 parts, are spread out among the different locations uh, in the Misty Vale. So here's the Misty Vale, and it's the different things. And so here's Riddermound, which is right close to Outskirts. So basically, Outskirts is maybe a border town. It's a very small little village because Misty Vale used to be overrun by like orcs and stuff, and it has a demon cult that's here, and there's a demon has a wizard who is, and it tells you all this stuff at the beginning, of the situation in the Misty Vale. It tells you about Azrael Koff, who is works for the demon. He's a servant of the demon, and he's trying to find a sword because if you hold the sword, the welder of the sword, if it's against a demon, it gets a bonus. If it's against a dragon, it gets a bonus. So this demon cultist is trying to get this dragon statuette so they can open up the thing and get it. And so if you read the outskirts, it tells you about uh, the demons cultists have infiltrated the town, or who the person is. It tells you about Azrael Koff and like how he's buried in this one area where he's kind of locked in, but he's manipulating everything behind the scenes. So it gives you a really good, overall setting. And so the Riddermound is one of the places where they think that part of the crown is kept. You as a DM get to choose the spots you want to put them at. And what they do is they give you these adventure cards um, that are in here, which was kind of cool. And you can pass these out to the characters, and it has a rumor on it. So you can give each character one, and they'll have a rumor. And so that would give you something to maybe get them started to go and do an adventure. But anyway, we're not going to worry about that right now because it's Riddermound. Um, Verona has learned that one of the that they think that part of this statuette is in here. So she tells Malatar, she's like, hey, let's go see what we can do. Let's see if we can find this thing. So you go to Riddermound. Riddermound is an old barrow called Riddermound. And so you can just go up to the location. I'm just putting them out to it. And so here's the map. You see, it's not too big. It's got the stones around it with the slab. And so my characters are in this little area as we get started. And I'm going to read the beginning. We're going to get going. A hill crowned by tall standing stones is the burial mound. A hill crowned by tall standing stones rises in a glade in the middle of the forest. The place is strangely quiet. However, you notice a faint and ominous odor, a putrid stench like that of rotten vegetables. So it breaks it down. How they do their modules is they have, just bullet point things of, they do such a great job. Bullet point things of just what you need to know as a DM. So it's like a stone slab. A roughly hewn, square-shaped slab of stone, 2 by 2 meters in size, is embedded in the earth at the top of the hill. It has been slightly moved from its original position, and a small gap on one side reveals some form of cavity underneath. The stone slab is heavy, but pushing aside requires no dice roll. And then they notice clear footprints can be seen in the grass of the hill. A character who succeeds at bushcraft roll also identifies small piles of wolf droppings and goblin excrement. The odor is coming from the latter. So we'll make a bushcraft roll to see if any one of them, 3. So Maltar, being a dwarf, familiar with goblins and wargs and stuff, and he knows wolf droppings. He knows that he recognizes that probably they've already been here. Sorry about that. There's a dwarf, not a dwarf. There is a orc leader, female, I believe, called Maladuk, who has sent a war party out. She's trying to find it as well because she wants the sword. So sends a party out to Riddermound, and so they notice that, and it's really good module construction because it lets the characters know you're not alone. It's already pushed down, and there could be goblins and orcs already in here. So number 2, an underground shaft opens beneath the stone slab. No bottom can be seen. A musty smell of stale air and dried up corpse rise from the depth. Long fall. It is 5 meters to the bottom of the shaft, so 15 feet. Each player character must make an acrobatics roll to climb down. A rope gives a boon to the roll. Neither one of my guys have rope. On a failure, the character falls as per the rules on page 53 of the rule book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them help. I'm going to give him bank because Malatar's going to go down and she's going to try to hold him to help him down. So I'm going to make an acrobatics roll by doing so. He needs a 10, 14, and 11. He does not make it. So I'm not going to. Oh, I can spend. Where's my pencil? Where's my pencil? I just had the thing. I used it to write on my character sheet. There it is. He can roll again. I'm going to do one more. Willpower. Woo, dice are rolling high, so he's going to fall. So I believe it's D6. He takes D6 damage. He takes 4 points of damage before we even start. Okay, he falls, takes 4 points of damage. He's going to try to help her down. So she's going to reach down, hold on, and then let go, and he's going to try to kind of catch her. Oh, a dragon. So she falls. She makes it. And her acrobatics is a 6. So I always like to mark when I succeed, and then I want to keep for Runa and Malatar, whoever rolls dragon rolls, because they get another roll on their on a skill check. All right, that's what I love about this game. Okay, so she makes it down. All right, so they're down a vaulted cave. If the player characters drop a torch or similar light source into the shaft, they can see that it leads down into a vaulted earthen cave with some form of doorway. So what she's going to do is she's going to, he has a torch. He would have lit it and dropped it off. I should have read this before. So he drops it down there so he can see. He gets down there. So now they're in 3. A dome-shaped chamber with a floor of beaten earth. In the darkness far above, the opening to the surface looks like a faintly glowing square. In the north wall is a set of double oak doors with iron fittings. A silvery symbol stretches across both doors, which are flanked by statues of knights in antiquated armor. So they land in this antechamber. They look up to the north. They see the double doors, and that the doors are already open, and it has two statues. So the goblins have already forced open the oak door, which is slightly ajar when the player could arrive. Stylized crown. A successful Myths of Legends roll identifies the symbol on the door as a stylized crown from the ancient time when the Misty Vale was ruled by a mighty dragon worshipping kingdom. So she's going to make a Myths and Legends. She does. So she knows, being a scholar, she knows that that's the she knows that there's the dragon crown, and so she's like, this is the crypt, and maybe there is something here. Tracks in the dirt. Lots of footprints and drag marks can be seen in the dirt. Sleeping bats. A cauldron of vampiric bats hang and cluster from the chamber ceiling. Detecting them requires a passive awareness roll. So I'm going to make that. It's a 10 for him. Okay, he notices. I'm not going to make it for her. He notices it, so that, which in turn makes it possible to sneak past them. So if this fails, the bats attack. So he's able to do that. And they also say the player character who makes a spot hidden roll finds a curved goblin dagger in the dirt. So let's see if they see that under dirt. 19, they do not. I'm just going to do one. He did the one that caught the bats. She did the one. She did not find it. And then they're going to go through the double doors into number 7. So he picks up the torch. She's going to carry the torch. A dark, damp tunnel. Oh, no, let's see. They're going into 7. A guardhouse. A small room with floors of beaten earth. The flickering light of a torch. So what they're going to do is they're going to leave the torch in the ante room to burn there because they can see that there's light through the door, the wooden door. They go through. It's blocked by a black portcullis in the far wall. 2 mummified guards with rusted chainmail and long spears flank the bar gate. The rusted portcullis. The barred door is completely rusted out and impossible to open, even with the key from Grub. Okay, so I know that. I know there's Grub is in level 5, in room number 5. It has an armor rating of 10 and can be forced open by inflicting 30 points of damage on casting a spell or casting a spell such as Pillar, which I don't have. I didn't take. But such noise will immediately attract the white. And so, weapons and armor. The mummified guards do not come alive even if the characters take their weapons and items. The rusty chainmail crumbles immediately if touched, but there is a long spear. Random events. So this is where you can roll random events. They'll tell you, roll a d12 on the table on page 34 for each full stretch the characters spend here. I don't know how long they'll stay, but so they look through. They can't get the. They notice that it's blocked. They look through, and when you look through, they see through the portico, so they can see a table, and at it is the mummified lady. She is the lady's hall. The mummified woman a mummified woman in a gilded chainmail is sitting at the far end of the table. An iron-fitted oak door behind the mummy bears an ancient symbol of the glitter and silver. So she can look. So what we can do is they have a stylized crown. So if they make another, they look and they see her and they see the door behind her. And so she makes a roll, a 7. So Verona looks and she sees, she's like, there's the same crown that's on the door out front. It's right there on that door. That must be where the tomb is. And so, but they look left and right. They can't get to the portcullis. He shakes it and it's not going to open. So they can go left or right. But let's make a D12 roll. Let's see what happens on a D12. 12. So nothing happens. Anything over a 7, they have a random event table right here. Anything over a 7, nothing happens. So nothing happens. So they're sitting there deciding which way they want to go. Now, I can do one or two things, and that is I could roll to see which way they go, or I already know in my mind, and I know this is kind of a cheat, but I'm trying to get through the adventure. I know if they go to 6, they're going to have to go back to 5 to get the key from Grub, because the portcullis here and the portcullis here are both locked. This one's got a broken key in it. It won't open. This is not going to open without a key. They have to go in this one. So instead of making a die roll and going all the way this way and then all the way back, I'm going to let them head towards 5. So, and I could just say they see more tracks in the dirt going this way. I don't, whatever. So they go down 4. And so 4 is the mound tunnels, a dark, damp tunnel through packed earth that branches off in different directions. The air is chilly and filled with musty smells. Slithering roots, worms, and centipedes are hanging like stalagmites stalactites from the ceiling and makes the ground slippery. So then you have a new random for each full stretch. So then walking down the hallway, I'm going to make another D12 roll. And 11. So nothing happens. So they get to 5, which is a servant crypt. A dark, damp chamber. Dugout burial niches cover the wall from floor to ceiling. Broken skeletons, molded rags, and shards of crushed pottery can be seen all over the place. It's already been vandalized. The crypt has been clearly visited by grave robbers. Skeletons have been dragged onto the floor. Jars have been crushed and clothes stashed. Portcullis, that's around the corner. It's blocked and there's no way to get through. But then there's the hidden goblin. So they're going to make a roll, 2. So they spot Grub in the corner. And so Grub is hyperventilating goblin named Grub. And here's Grub. Grub the goblin is a pitiful sight, dirty, wild-eyed, and panting hysterically. He wears battered and broken leather armor and reeks of fear in goblin bodily fluids. So, but it says that if they can persuade Grub to help them, he has the key. But can they persuade them to help him? So both my guys have very low persuade. But let's see what happens. 2. Well, 2. They do. They persuade him to help him because my persuade is 6. So they are able to persuade Grub that, hey, won't you come with us and help us to figure we are not, even though we're dwarfs, we're not going to harm you. We're not going to hurt you. We'll help you get out of here. If you help us, we'll help you. So they do persuade him that he's willing to help them. So because he wants to get out. So also random event. So while they're sitting there and they're talking to him, let's see what happens. 4, random event. Okay, the white. Okay, the white has been disturbed by the character and it attacks. As it is partially immaterial, it can pass through closed portcullis and doors, but it requires an action to do so. The white retreats to its tomb if it loses half its hit points and fully recovers when they're stretched time. So he has 38 hit points. So he appears. And that freaks out Grub because all the other goblins got killed by the white. So that freaks him out. But the white appears. He's got an AC of 8. That takes away 8 points of damage. So I'm going to... it takes him, what did it say? A move. It requires an action to do so. Okay, cool. So one of his actions whenever he goes is him coming through. They can hear him coming because it says that he moves slow and makes noise and all that. So I'm going to, all right, so let's see. So I'm going to, again, he's still, if you remember, man, I'm sorry to be with hiccups. Maltar is, still has his heroic ability of Army of One. So he is, and both of them have Unforgiven, but he's got an Army of One, so that means he gets 2 cards. All right, so I'm going to flip for her first, then Grub, and then the white gets 2 because the white is he has a ferocity of 2. So they're monsters. That's how you decide what they have. So I'm gonna pull this off. I will need this because Grub has a bow. So Grub pulls his bow out. He steps back. He goes, "He's coming! He's coming!" And so So what they're going to do is they're going to switch with, you can switch numbers. So I'm going to give him 1 and then give him 3. Okay, so what she's going to do is she is going to try to cast Protector on Malatar. So she's going to try to cast Protector. So that is, so she pulls out, I think she's got I think it's, let's see, I thought I read this, a gesture and ingredient, something to draw with. So she pulls out, she does a thing, and she draws a symbol, a rune on him. Protect a person or place no larger than human from magic. You protect, let's see. You can cast a spell on yourself. The power levels of all spells cast as a player plays reduced by the power level protector. You can use the spell to protect against magical attacks from monsters. I don't think he'll need that. I thought it was going to be something else, but I don't think he's magical attacks because he doesn't have a magical attack. I don't think he does. As a white, are these considered magical attacks? I mean, he has ability to scream. I mean, he's dead. Or undead spirits, powerful, however they're linked. When different ghosts, corporal wearing ancient armor. Ooh, that's because is he a magical creature? And would his attacks, would some of his abilities be considered magical attacks? You can also, the power level of all spells cast at the person or place is reduced. Well, it wouldn't be a spell. You can also use the spell to protect against magical attacks from monsters. In that case, each power level, that's not good because it's not something that she could use. All right, well, then she's not going to do that. She will pull out a warhammer. She could do banish. Demons and undead rising from their graves are a violation of a natural order and must be stopped. The spell inflicts 2d8 points of damage on such a being. Each additional power level increases the damage by d8. And armor and natural armor have no effect. And it can't be dodged or parried. So that's what she's going to do. She hears him coming. She sees this white coming. She is going to cast Banished on him. So when he makes his appearance, she's going to cast Banish. So first spell, 3, she gets off. So that's, okay, so power ranking, it's 2 willpower points per power ranking. So she is going to do, she's got, how many willpower points does she have? She has 15. Okay, so she's going to cast, she's going to power rank it times 2. So that would be double. Is that what it is? It's 2d8. I think every power rank, I think that's what I just read. Banish. Each additional power increases by d8, so it's 3d8. Okay, so she's going to do 3d8, and this might definitely, so 2d8, she does 9 plus 5, she does 14 points of damage to him. So as soon as he comes through, she's going to cast, you know what, I'm just going to flip her to number 1. So she does 14 points. So when he gets to half points, when he gets to 17, 19. And she did 14, so he's down to 5. Okay, so he comes through, and then as he comes, he's moving, gets close. Malatar's going to roll up and engage him with his hammer. 4, he hits. So he does 2d8 plus 6. So he just needs to do 13 points of damage. Oh, and he does 15 points. So he does 15 points. As soon as he does, the white disappears. Oh, that was kind of easy. I thought that was going to be a little more complicated. But, so she taps, so banish. I might have wanted to save that thing. One thing about the rules about magic is the fact that I can keep out a number of spells that casting time, So if you cast a spell, and it's a complicated, the maximum of spells you can be prepared in your memory is the same times equal to your base chance for intelligence. When you have reached your limit, it's done during the rest. You can only prepare spells that you have learned and mark pairs under the thing. I don't think it's a one and done. Casting. To cast a spell, you spend willpower points and roll against your skill level, relevant school, any school. Otherwise, if the roll succeeds, the spell has a 10 effect as per description. Otherwise, it has no effect. You can push the roll. Optional. Okay, cool. So that means I can do it as much as I can, as long as I don't. I like that. I hate the old cast and go. So sweet. Huh. Interesting. Boy, that's kind of powerful against undead. Ooh, I should have made Maltar a warrior. Okay, so they're going to go back. He vanishes. They're going to go to the other side. So as they get to 4, we're going to make another roll. 6. Draconic vision. A stray memory envelops one of the characters who is suddenly looking out over a strange city of turrets, towers, and horn-like spires. Something comes flying straight at the character. A huge dragon ridden by a knight in gold-plate mail and a horn great him. The character must make a save versus will with a bane to resist fear. Okay, so that's going to be, it's going to be her. She's the Scot. Well, 1, 2, 3 is Maltar. 4, 5, 6 is her. 4, 5, 6 is her. Oh, she makes it because she's got a will of 15. Sweet. So she makes her spell for the bane. So she's not fearless. But she does get knowledge, which is what she loves as a scholar. So we get into room 6. The family crib. A dark chamber with packed dirt floors. 7 simple sarcophagi of stone are lined up along the walls. Several of them are open. 2 skeletons have been thrown into the ground. 3 of the 7 sarcophagi have already been opened and plundered by the goblins. If the player characters examine the unopened sarcophagi, they will find 4 individually buried skeletons. They're not here to loot the tomb. Then there's a porticus. Oh, there's a trapdoor. So I got to make a spot hidden. So spot hidden is a 14. 17. He doesn't spot. Let's see if she spots it. That's a 12. He's looking. Oh, you know what? I can do my thing and roll again because he gets 1, 2, 3. 12. He spots hidden. I forget about my will, soul survivor. So he spots that there's a trap there. So they're able to move around it. Another D12 to see. 11. Nothing happens. And so they're able to open the door and they move into the ladies' hall. A small room with an oak table in the middle and burning torches on the wall. A mummified woman in gilded chainmail is sitting at the far end of the table. An iron-fitted oak door behind it mummy bears an ancient symbol in glittering silver. So we already know that it's there. So the lady is sitting there. So if the party, she has her hand on a warhammer called Fiend Crusher. And if anybody touches the warhammer or tries to open the wooden door, she turns into a ghost to tell people to leave. So they are going to, it's a bejeweled flesh cover. The mummified hand clock rests on a magnificent light warhammer set with jewels, master crafted with a strength requirement of 7 and durability of 15. It is magical and glows red whenever the bearer. So the dwarves cannot pass up a magical warhammer. So Verona is going to walk over. She's going to look at it. She's going to grab it. And when she does, the lady comes to life. They need to make a language roll. Verona, what's her languages? 12. So she starts to talk in this language that Verona starts to understand, basically telling her to leave this place, do not go much further, leave my hammer and my husband alone. And they're like, well, we're just here. They're trying to talk to her. But she doesn't seem to listen because it says all of that. She goes into incomprehensible speech as well. And so, do they leave the warhammer? When she comes to life and starts talking, it doesn't matter. She's going to become a ghost whenever they try to open the door. So it doesn't really matter. So ghost. So they're fighting a ghost. So the ghost, so she's going to turn into a ghost because they're going to open the door. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So instead of just sitting here messing around with it, I might as well just get started. Don't want a long video tonight. So let's see what goes on here. So Verona goes on a 3. Grub 6, 2. The ghost is a ferocity 2, so she goes on a 5 and a 9. So again, here we go. She's got 27 hit points. Ghost 27. He swings first. Ghosts are immaterial beings, immune to all damage except magic and fire. But it's a magical weapon. He's got a magical weapon. She could be persuaded. It says, unlike other monsters, ghosts are usually persuaded. Even though it says in the thing that it's going to attack, I'm going with a bane. I'm going to see if Verona can persuade her. No. So, swing by Malatar. 12. He hits with his hammer. She has no armor, so it's 2d8 plus 6. He does 8 points of damage. Okay, so that would be, she's at 19. She's going to do banish again, because why not? That's a very, very good thing. Oh, it's a demon. Demon. Let me see about push rolls. I can't remember. For some reason, I was reading back through the rules, and I thought that if you you can't push a demon. I think you can. I know I have done it in the past, but I thought when I was pushing a roll, you can never push a demon roll. There you go. So she can't push a demon roll. So that's a magic. Yikes, because if I lose this before the battle with what's-his-face, that could be bad. All right, so magical mishaps. 19. You become one category older. For example, from adult to old. Your attributes and derived ratings change as per the table in 24, but your skill levels do not. If you're already old, you become very frail and get -2. The effect is permanent and you age from your thing. So I'm going to have to change her ability scroll. So old. Yikes. Yikes. And your spell fails. Yikes. Sometimes a dice. So she gets, oh my goodness. Well, it's not too bad. She gets +1 to will and intelligence. She gets -2 to strength, con, and agility. Wow. Yikes. That's not good. So let me see. It did say, I mean, that, I don't think that changes any. So, yikes. All right, well, that wasn't a good roll. All right, so Ghost's turn. Well, why did I put that up? I need the Ghost. I do have the bestiary too, but I don't need that. 1. Ghost Strike. The ghost lunges at a player character within 10 meters and strikes with a great force. The victim is knocked back 2d6 meters, suffers the same amount of bludgeon damage, and lands prone. So let's see. I'm going to say she's going to go after the scholar because she's the one who grabbed the hammer and tried to banish her. So she's going to take 2d6. She takes 5 points of damage. Oh, tricky. 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. And you know what I've been doing? Counting as I had 20 hit points. I'm a dummy. Anyway, she takes 5 points of damage. How many points does she have? She's got, that way it's easier if I do it this way. She's got 14. Grub has 9. Malatar has 17. Okay, so she takes 5. She's down to 9. And then she's prone. She's not back 5 meters. Okay, so that's he is going to swing 5. He hits 2d8. Come on, baby, give me a good roll. He does 9 points of damage. So she's down to 10. And then Grub cannot hit her. So Grub doesn't do anything. So she gets another attack. She can't do another 1. 4. Death Stare. The ghost towers over a player character, staring directly into their soul with its dead eyes. The victim sees their life pass before their eyes and is tormented by grotesque visions of all their dead friends and foes. The victim becomes scared, suffers a fear attack, and gets a bane on their will roll. So, who is that going to be? Is she going to swing? I'll just roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So she goes to Malatar. So Malatar has to make a will roll with a bane. So he becomes scared. All right, he makes that. However, he becomes scared. So from now on, he gets bane on will rolls. All right, so. Yeah, I would say it would be nice if Grub had a magic weapon, but those are the breaks. The dwarves are not going to give him a bejeweled warhammer. All right. She's going to go last. Grub's at 9, 1, 6, 8, 5. Okay, so 1, he's swinging because she is down to 10. 17, he misses. However, he'll push his roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you know what I've been doing? Going 20 to here, and I shouldn't. It cuts off here. So I've been cheating. But we won't be cheating anymore. So he's going to re-roll. 10, he hits. Oh, wrong dice. Oh, gosh, he does 5 points of damage. That's not good. Okay, so she attacks. 2, Death Touch. The ghost sticks its translucent hand into the chest of an unfortunate player character and grasps the victim's heart. The victim suffers 2d10 points of damage and has no effect. So he is going to suffer 2d10. This could be... Oh. Well, he can't get to her. He's out of the way, so it's got to be Malatar. He takes 8 points of damage. Oh. He had already taken 4, so that's 13. He's down to 5. Yikes. So, him. 3, he hits. He is scared, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't affect his roll to hit. Oh, yeah, he does 20 points of damage. He kills the ghost. The ghost is gone. Okay, so after that, they're finished. She is going to cast. She's going after that mishap. Let me make sure that doesn't do anything else. I think it's just a mishap. Made her grow. Made her grow. That's hilarious. Alright, general magic, cast a spell, just make sure. Rolling a demon, you cannot push the roll. There's a risk of something terrible happen. I've already did all that. Rolling a dragon. So what she's going to do is she does have heal. Treat wounds. You heal a living creature for 2d hit points. You can use the spell on yourself. For each power level beyond the first, the spell heals d6. So she is going to willpower. She's going to do 1. How many spells? Rank 1. So that's 2. She's going to do double. 12. Okay, she makes it. So it's 2D, she does 3D6. Malatar. All right, so he gets back 8. So he's back to 13. She's going to cast it again to get some heal back on her. Let's see. Ooh, 18 is a fail, but she can push it. So it would be a willpower, no intellect. She's angry because she can't spell. She's ticked. Ooh, I don't want to do that. It just doesn't work. Because if I did that, then that means when she rolls on her spells, she's going to be rolling a bane. Okay, so they're going to open the door. Get this thing over with, hopefully. Open the door into White's tomb. So, Tomb of the Dragon Knight, he is back in there. So, the White is there. It's the open sarcophagi. In the middle of a burial chamber with torches on the wall stands a podium with an ornate sarcophagi of stone. The floor, ceiling, and walls are all made of stone bricks. A painting of a ridden dragon can be seen on the far wall. The stone coffin has been opened from the inside with tremendous force, and pieces of the shattered lid lie scattered on the floor. That's the White coming to life, and he is there ready to attack. So let's do that. White, and then we'll worry about the rest afterwards if they defeat the White. So he's a bad man, Majama. I mean, she still has banish. It doesn't. The spell doesn't go away. It just fails. So she still has it. I think that's the truth. Make sure I tell you, not telling you guys the wrong thing here. But pretty much that's the truth. It just fails. Cast the spells. If the roll succeeds, otherwise has no effect. Okay, there you go. So, her 10. Did I even shuffle these? 6, 8, 9. Holy bejesus. 3 and 7. So the White comes out of the crypt and he is going to attack. Grub is going to back up with his, because he has a bow and arrow. And let us go. So he's going to attack. It's a d6. 5. Why did I put this book up? The White. Hope he goes better than like last time. All right, he did a 5. Crippling cold. The White grabs an unfortunate player character who feels the chill of death spreading through their body. The victim takes d6 damage. Armor has no effect and must make an evade roll, not an action, on their next turn in order to act at all. If the roll fails, a new attempt can be made on the next turn. The victim also becomes cold and cannot heal HP. So he is going to reach out and let me see who he's going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. So it's, well, Grub is outside with his bow and arrow, so it's not. It's going to be Malatar. So Malatar, though, is going to use one of his things here to evade. 2. He evades. So he evades it doesn't say he can't. So he does. He reaches out to do it. He grabs an unfortunate character. I know their attacks can be evaded. It says this attack can be parried. He can be evaded. He sees the hand reach out. That's what I'm going to go with. All right, so 6. Grub's going to shoot an arrow. 4, he hits. And it's a D10 at half damage. He does 2. I'm rounding up. 36. Good job there, Grub. All right, here goes the White again. Man. 1. Unholy roar. The White's decomposed skull contorts and lets out a ghastly scream that cuts like a rusty blade through the character's soul. Everyone within 10 meters suffers a fear attack. So let's... Her 15, she makes it because she's a 16. Malatar, he makes it. And then Grub should be what outside he makes it. He's outside of he's oh yeah, I looked up their skill levels earlier. So they have a base skill of 5 on skill, so that means they're 9 to 12. So he made it with a 7. All right, so that's his attack. Since he doesn't have to use this one, he's going to swing. His mighty Warhammer 10, he hits. Man, come on, I need some damage. This is minus 8, remember. Okay, there's 8, so he does 5 points of damage. And then she is going to try to cast Banish. 4, she does. Oh, let's see what she can do. Willpower, 1, 2. So she can do 2. And Banish is, was it 2d6? You know, old man ministry, 2d8. 5. Boy, yeah, that's not good. He's got a massive attack, so get that feeling. Hope everybody's having a good evening. Make sure my thing's still running. Okay. All right. Swap these around. Verona, 3. Grub. All right, Malatar. Ooh, okay. So, Malatar swings. 5. He hits. And these 8-side dice need to come on. At least give me an 8. It give me 8 points. That means he does no damage. God, stinks. All right, so he attacks, and then, man, I probably should have saved that, but 2. Dreadful gaze. An unlucky player character stares directly into the right's horrible eyes as a wheezing sound is heard. He becomes scared. Suffers a fear attack and gets banned on the roll. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Bane on her roll. Ooh, a dragon. 19. That sucks. Has a fear attack, so she becomes scared. That sucks. Fear attack is on page 52. Oh, you know what? She could push that. I want to make her push it. She's going to take the scared anyway, and I'm going to push it. 16, she makes it because she got old. She got wiser. She makes the set. She makes the save. So that's here. And then now it's her turn. She's going to cast. Again, she casts. That's great. Oh, make sure her will points. That's her last spell, I believe. No, it's not. She has one more. 2. I don't want to do that. I don't know 2d8. 2 of them. 5 points of damage. That's 2 anyway. So she's done here. 5, 21. At least they're doing some damage. Here comes the white again. Anything but a 2. 3. Hand of the dead. He raises his hand and gestures at a player character within 10 meters. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be Grub. He's thrown 2d4 back. And he takes that amount of damage. He takes 6. So Grub has 9. So Grub is thrown back. And he's prone. But I'm going to make him pop up on his... hold on, let him attack. I'm going to let him pop up on his knee. He's got to roll. So he hits. Come on, give me some damage. All right, that's what I'm talking about right there. So 8 goes away, and it does 8 points of damage. Down to 13. I'm going to have Grub pop up on his knee. I know he gets knocked prone. He's like, ah. Why? Because I'm a DM. All right, he does D10, cut in half. 1 point of damage. Well, that makes sense. Okay. That's that. Oh no. I haven't rolled that 6 yet. 6 is his massive attack, or he'll probably kill anybody he hits. At least the attack can be parried. That is the key. All right. Man, 10. 1, 3. Whoa. The white's like, I'm about to die. So 5. Crippling Cold. The white grabs an unfortunate player character. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So she's going to use her attack. You know what? She can take 6 points of damage. She's going to take D6. Woo, doggy. She takes 6, so she's on 3. And then she's got to make an evade roll. Evade before she does her move. All right. He is going to swing because he has this as a backup to be able to move. Parry if he needs to. 17. He missed, but he gets last will point. Reroll. 8. He hits. All right, come on. Just give me 8. I mean, technically, if I roll really high, he does 10. He does 2 points of damage. Okay. His attack. 1. It's the Unholy Roar. So everybody has to make a will. Except for a fear attack. So they have to make a will roll. She makes it. He makes it. Grub does not make it. So he suffers a fear attack. 52. Fear attack. D8. 8. In a fit of utter panic, you flee the scene as fast as you can. On your next turn, you must dash away from the source of your fear. Make another will roll. So he's just going to wild panic. So he's going to roll. So he's gone. As of right now, let's put that away. Well, mild target swing. 5. He hits. Does another 2 points of damage. Wait, he didn't do 10 last time. That should be 10. I'm almost positive. Okay, that's his attack. She's going to try to catch Bandit. Oh, she's got to make an evade roll, which she does not do, but that's an agility, so she can do it again. 11. I think that's enough. 12. Yep. So she evades. She gets to make her move. She's going to cast Banish. Whoop. Hold on. Let me make sure she can do that. He is out of willpower points, but she's got one more. That's it. She doesn't do it. However, she can push because she can be angry. Okay. Because I think she feels like he's close. So she does. It's 2d8. 9 points of damage. All right, so cool. They killed a white. Woo, doggy. Okay, so that's done there. The white is finished. I mean, that just shows you 2 characters, which basically Maltar is almost fighting like a third and a goblin, how much it takes just to take out a white. So, you know, if you're playing a party, it's going to probably be a 3 or 4 out of the book. So let's go. He defeated the white. And, I'm supposed to keep up with things, but it's okay. Tomb Trap. So they need to make a spot hidden to see if they notice there's a trap. He rolls a 15. His spot hidden is a 14. However, it's an intellect. He's going to get angry. I want to push my roll. 7. So he spots that there's a trap. He's able to, then he's going to use a sleight of hand. 6, he does. He uses sleight of hand, which is a 6. He's able to take a normal item and put it, he knows that he's got to replace the statuette of the crown. So he does. He pulls the statuette out, and then they're able to leave. It does have another random event, but the white is here, so I'm not going to roll another random event. Let me see. I mean, Jesus, that's a D4 plus 4. Okay, so there's no random event because I rolled a 4. So good, no random event. All right, so that's it. That's Riddermound. My characters survived. You know, if I made any mistakes, just let me know in a comment. I mean, I should know this game, but in every game, things get you forget things. So um, there was a one dragon roll for this is the wrong one for Verona, so she gets that. So she gets 5 rolls. So I'm going to do this all off camera and level them up. So again, there you go. There's the Riddermound module played. It's an excellent little beginner module. Definitely something that can be played in one session in one evening with a group of with a party group of players. Uh, I think I will put a poll up to see if anybody wants to see me finish the whole campaign with these characters. Maybe I'll pull Grub in as well. And then we can do, um, but my next video will be OSE using, I think it's called Broken Streams, or Black Streams, Broken Streams, whatever it is. I'll show it on the next one because I want to make it OSE character and get started with some solo OSE on the next one. So thanks, everyone.